So again, I'm so glad to see everybody here. And I wanted to, as Stella was saying, we're moving it to a bi-weekly thing, still a chapter a week. We're going over chapter 8 and 9. Chapter 8, The Razor's Edge. I believe that was very, very topical and important. And because we've all expressed interest in it before. And as it pretty much starts off, you are only 1 inch, 1 step, 1 idea away from turning onto the boulevard of beauty in your life. And it's often been said that the line which separates winning from losing, it is as fine as a razor's edge. And it is. And I would like to underline the word winning. Winning can be said in many different ways, whether it's a goal, a dream. It doesn't necessarily have to mean in a business context or anything like that. But winning means being successful in completion of your goal. And the completion of your goal may not even be exactly what you had in mind, but the journey and the things that you did, the character that was developed to get you there, it is the prize alone and sets you up for the next journey or the next goal, But with that said, that fine line is, and we talked about it before, it separates the just abouts, the people that have all the ideas, that you could say some of the things I just said to you now. Well, I'm going to start a group coaching school program for this, website for this. A lot of people have all these ideas, and they're just about or in the midst of it, but don't finish or don't even start. They quit before they even begin, And so I thought that was a great topic, great chapter to go upon. What started? Anybody can answer this question. When you started to read this, what meaning did it have to you? Was there any examples that you said, "Oh wow, yeah, this pertains to me"?
I did like the how good am I doing my job? How much better could I be? The questions to ask yourself about your job, which got me into training myself. So now I picked Tuesday to be my online training day for a Pampered Chef or whatever else that I need knowledge on. So I have to pick a series of things that I need to learn in order to take with me to be more knowledgeable, like the new cookware. I need to know how much it is, although I know everything about it because I love it. But
yes.
But those questions alone set the example for me as to what I need to do to be better, especially being kind of new at it and coming out of my comfort zone. Virtual parties is another thing that I was not aware of how it actually worked until. So that's going to be a big hit for those people that don't like to leave the house.
Yes. Well, absolutely. And they did have, especially in the workbook and whatnot, it does have a section for salespeople. And I believe we're all selling something. We're all, whether it's whatever job that we have, we're selling our value, what we contribute. We have goals at our work, whatever it is. We have to obtain this. We all have metrics or goals. We're always selling something. It was a great movie sales movie called Glengarry Glen Ross, and Alec Baldwin is in it. A famous line, it's amongst salespeople, and it's, coffee is for closers, but the other trademark line was always be closing, ABC. And so in your context, it is knowing the line and all the options available, because people never want to buy anything. No one wants to buy numbers. No one wants to buy. They want to buy feelings. They want to buy how are you going to make my life easier, or how are you going to solve my problem? How are you going to fill the need that I have? And if you know the lineup good enough, because someone's always going to object, is the law of averages is 10 no's for every one yes. And so it's true. Everybody will always resist something. And if you have an option available for somebody, whether it's because it's budget conscious or whatever your offer may just not be filling, you're not matching up what they need. If you know the product good enough, or the options available, virtual party or whatever it is, you can make that sale. It's one more objection. And you can never give up on the first yes. People need follow-up. Even if you go, well, I want it all, but I can't right now. I got to wait till payday. But it's that person. We've all been through it. We want it. Please, here, take my money, and they never call you back, or they never follow up with you. And following up on a goal, on an idea, on a meeting is where you're going to find the gold, And so we're always closing. We're always selling something, And that was a great thing. And in the workbook, it talks about what some people did. I did it a lot. It was role playing, and they wanted to underline that it's not role playing. We're not playing. It's simulating. Going through the dance of what you're gonna go through with a buyer, so that just like a band rehearsing for a concert, this is, they're gonna do a full production rehearsal. This is what we do. This is the set list. This is what we're gonna do, and then when it's showtime, it goes off flawless. You're just comfortable. But okay. But that's it. It's practicing. It's doing it enough that it's so natural. And I think Andrew can attest to that. I put the music analogy into that.
Absolutely.
So Kelly, and that was something, and I think about you a lot, and I believe share quite a few similarities. I don't show it enough. Although if anyone followed my Facebook last night, I think I let it peek out a little bit. But
we're all entitled to that once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But with that said, what did you feel when you saw the topic of the razor's edge and starting or almost or not completion? What did that mean to you in a real world setting?
Well, first of all, it made me feel like I'm almost 40 years old, and I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So, but that's something that I've been feeling, trying to figure out for a long time now. Is just really trying to find out exactly what it is I want to do. I kind of have some ideas, but one of the things that really stuck out with me with this was the second. Hold on, I lost it. What was it called? The second effort.
Yes.
That second effort analogy there with the Vince Lombardi story here. Talking about how, when you try, and it's kind of what we were just talking about, when you try it, you might fail, you might have to do it, you might have to get back up and do it again. And so that's one of the things that really stuck with me. Got to be honest with you, like I said, reading this, I kind of felt, I can't even think of the word. I kind of felt like I couldn't really relate much to it because it was very sales-ish. Yeah. And like on a personal level, because I'm not a sales, in the sales, like you just said, everyone sells, right? You know what I mean? But, career-wise, I am so far removed from any type of a sales type of a position. I work in IT, so, you couldn't be further from sales. But I did understand it in some aspects because my husband is in sales. So, but I guess I'm more related to it from his perspective than my own, to be honest with you.
Yes, and I'm sure you're always hearing about it, or what had to be done, or what I went through today, or this is how I closed them, or whatnot.
Yeah, but I actually used a lot of what I read in this chapter, to be honest with you, the other day, because my husband, we moved down to Florida, and not even a year ago, he became a real estate agent. So we don't really know anybody down here. So it's all about trying to find your own clients. And he was really feeling discouraged and just very negative. And I could see it. I could sense it. I could feel it. He turns into like a miserable person, when he gets into these ruts. And so I just sat him down, and I was just like, listen, you need to be more positive, and I just kind of like went through a lot of these concepts, and it was just like, you have to think more positive. You have to get up and try again. You're going to get rejected. So I kind of went through a lot of this razor edge in the second, I keep forgetting the name of it, second effort, and that's, I think, why it stood out to me, because he was doing so well. He was on a roll, and then he got into a rut like we all do, and he just stayed there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you need to get up. You need to get positive thinking. And seriously, and I'm not even joking, within that day, all of a sudden things started picking up for him. Yeah. And even today, I said to him today, because he's like, oh, I got this call, and I got that call, I got this call. And I said, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, because this isn't anything I made up. I said, but do you think this has anything to do with you changing your attitude and, going for it again? And he was like, yeah, I actually do. So it was kind of, it was really good, because I felt like in this chapter, like I said, I couldn't relate to it on my own personal professional level. Yes. But I could relate to it on his. So. Yes.
And he'll probably want to read this book after all said and done.
Hopefully.
Yes. Right. They all come on their own time. Yes, because I'll tell you, Bob Proctor is in demand of course, as you can imagine, as a speaker at sales conventions and seminars of purposely companies hiring him just to rally up a sales force. But like I said, I'm was part of that world, and everything that we want to do, my purpose is the messenger, and my goal is to help people become more aware of what they're capable of doing. But it's going to take sales to do that, or / marketing. I got to get that word out there, get that, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's always going to be selling, and it's or selling your idea across, whether it's to a spouse or, we can't ramrod an idea or a thought, or this is what we want, an outcome, we got to sell it, and it's they feel that they're in control, and it's something that they want, and you give it to them. But with that said, like you said, this, excuse me, whatever it is, improving performance And you brought up something, Kelly, and I did want to get in touch with you because I go, all right, I'm kind of knowing about everybody's little semi-niche here. And Kelly's a tough nut to crack with me. I got to find out exactly. And I'm gonna get in touch with you, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, and we can work on that together. And because I think once you find out your purpose, I mean, again, it's not this one thing. Everybody is good at a lot of different things, but we're really great at this one thing, you know, and we can apply it in different avenues, and we can find that, like I said, what I am doing now, and there's to be more to be shown later. At first, the medium was as a fitness trainer, and I wanted to incorporate the mind and the body, something other people weren't giving, you know. But as you whittle down, you find out just exactly what it is that you need to be doing. And once you do, I feel that the floodgates are open, and it just gives you such clarity and direction, you know. But we'll work on that. Yes, Stella.
I think that one of my favorite things to do is to write. I do have a passion for writing. I grew up writing poems, short stories. I love to do that. So when I was reading chapter 8, it came where it said that writing 1 page a day is a 365 pages book in a year. If you were to focus on like one subject or something that was, you know, heartfelt for you to write about. So that was something that really hit me. Like, I was like, oh my God, I could actually write that children's book. I could probably write like 10 of them.
Yes.
Definitely.
Of course, I got to fit that into my timeline, and it probably won't happen for another 5 or 6 years or something like that. But the fact that they set it up and they make you look at it that way, and the 1 hour of study of something that you're passionate about, you know, the 1 hour of study, undivided attention, you know, can equal 45 to 40 hours a week, which gives you 5 years of study. So, I mean, you know, I started a notebook for my book.
Yeah.
So when I write those things down, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. My husband wants to be a marine mechanic. So he started doing it in high school. He's passionate about doing mechanics. I cannot wait to tell him about these short little studies that he can do that cost less than $27,000. And he already knows what he's doing. He's just brushing up on the newer stuff.
Yes.
I'm really anxious that I can say, hey, look what you can do for a fraction of the cost.
Absolutely.
You're passionate about. I mean, everything you do is give it your all and put your best foot forward. And if you know about it and you have the energy and the interest to learn about it, do it.
Yes.
Obviously, it's kind of hard when you have kids and you have a schedule and PTA and scouts, but you just got to find a way to fit it in there.
Well, and it's desire. Desire is the triggering mechanism. We can all, you know, and I'll challenge everybody here. I'll challenge you. And it is not finding time. It is making the time. You know, we hear that correlation more to fitness or exercise. You know, it's not about, you know, finding time. Everybody has the same time, but it's managing the time. And Bob Proctor actually said that when he quit his $1 million company of cleaning offices to work with his idol Earl Nightingale, and to work in his corporation for far less money. And everything that Earl Nightingale did, whether it was started a magazine subscription to this, he made the secretary order him the same copy. And when he asked him about, because he was doing so much and accomplishing so much, he just says, Earl, how are you managing time? And he goes, we do not manage time. I manage activities. We all have the same amount of time, and it's what are you doing with that time? It's, even in our social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, I'm sure just that alone, we can carve time out and say, you know what? I just checked this 20 minutes ago, and it's the same shit going on. Excuse my French.
No, perfectly.
It's the same shit, especially right now. I'm seeing everyone pro-bigot redneck Trump or whatever. So you can absolutely find the time. It is just desire. We have the same amount of energy coming to us, flowing through us. It's just desire is that triggering mechanism. And it's saying, you know what? For me to get away, I'm going to not do this because me seeing my children's book come to life is more important than anything else going on right now. And I'm saying that in the context of when you have free time, whether, like if kids are at school or people are away, what are we doing with that time? And whatever it is, to master, you're making a commitment saying, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try and master this or make this come to fruition. Just like I'm sure that Andrew can correlate with that is learning an instrument. Practicing once a week isn't going to get the job done.
Nope.
Jim Rohn had a great quote, and we all have heard the analogy, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but that doesn't mean eating 7 apples on Saturday. It's you're going to lose it, and it's putting in that time every day, whatever it is. Even if it's not an hour, if it's a half hour, if somebody wanted to write a book and you shut everything down for a half hour, an hour, you're going to get a lot done. And an hour might not seem long, but you're going to get it done. And so it's just deciding, okay, I want to see that. I want the pain or the comfort zone I'm feeling right now. I'd rather see the future vision. And I think that'll be a great segue into going, don't think in reverse. And chapter 9. And, often we think, we hold ourselves prisoner. It's almost the theme I kind of had today. We're keeping ourselves with resentment, with guilt, and we're not starting projects, we're not going forward, and it's because we're thinking too much of present conditions or the past, why something cannot work. And Andrew.
Yes.
First question, are you currently driving?
No, I just got back into the house just like 20 seconds ago.
Okay, I didn't want you to start rambling on here while you're driving. I was kind of worried about that. We all want you to survive, Andrew.
I made it all the way till Friday. I've done damn well.
Oh, wow. And so, but, not to cut you off since you didn't add anything to the Razor's Edge, but what would you like to add, your takeaway from the Razor's Edge, chapter 8, or segueing into Don't Think in Reverse, chapter 9.
Well, the razor's edge. I mean, especially coming now that I'm fully fledged in a sales role again, that whole role-playing thing definitely reminded me of some of my older positions where I was in sales, and they would always do it as role-playing. But when you instead actually do it the way they're suggesting in the book, it gives it more life, and it's not so robotic. And I could appreciate that, put a new perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing for me that really stood out in the Razor's Edge is just because it's just that slight difference that I could see, like the different phases of how you can be successful, like between one person having a thought versus another person having that thought and making a plan. Then you have a plan, but then you take action to start doing it. And then, of course, when you're doing it, to actually complete it. And those different phases, but just that slight little difference of a thought to action to success. That kind of jumped out at me and made me think about a little bit differently about things I was doing myself. Like, you know what? I have this idea. Why didn't I just do it? You know? So I took away a big part of that right there. Now, as far as the second chapter, well, the thinking in reverse, the thing that jumped out at me was the triple threes. It kind of touched on something I've done with myself, but slightly different, whereas you put out all the positives of, like, what can you do, but then when why we can't do something, everyone would yell, next,
Mm-hmm.
and then just move on to next, what's going to progress this idea. Okay, yeah, that's good that you can tell me what's not going to work. Next, what's going to make it work? And I've done a lot of that thinking myself, especially just breaking things down in my head, and I would start to get into those little conundrums where I'm like getting myself negative, and I'm like, well, shut up. What's going to get you out of this problem? And then I would just constantly do that to myself. So it's kind of funny to hear it being, put out in this book as well. It's something I have been doing, but it just reinforced it. Like, all right, I guess my idea, picking on myself and kicking myself in the butt periodically wasn't a bad idea that way. And that's my ramble.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, absolutely. It's very important that, and this is a law of attraction, spirituality, universal law, group, personal development, and as we've all become aware of and knowing, once you have that thought, it's not good enough alone. And the missing components is the belief in oneself that you already have it and that it will come, but it's action. The missing component is action. You just got to start going that way. You may not know how it's going to happen. You don't have to know all the answers before you start it, before you begin.
Exactly.
I love to use the example of, seriously, when you think about the days of old and the explorers such as Leif Erikson or Christopher Columbus, again, you have an entire country, almost a whole world, telling you the world is flat. There is nothing over there, and to overcome that and saying, I know there's more. There's an undiscovered country that I need to explore, and I will find this, and I know that it's out there. And how, what, they don't know, but damn it, they went into that direction. And just like the universal law and the law of attraction, you don't need to know, you just need your why. Like, I want this because, and believe in yourself, and all the people, places, and events start coming into your life and showing you the how to get there and make it happen. It's why on those days, on Tuesdays, whatever you're a part of, or whatever your project is, or whatever your website is, whatever you're a part of, network marketer, affiliate marketer, or whatever it is, put it out there. And very few people are taking that opportunity to use that space and to say, hey, this is what I'm out about, you know, because the people that you may need, like, you know, they may need a virtual party and they have this tremendous deadline, but if they saw someone that fulfilled that, oh my God, you are the person I'm looking for. So it's putting things out there and using opportunities like that to your advantage. And very, very few people are. And so with that said, then what did you feel, Kelly? I'm also interested what you felt that Chapter 9, Don't Think Reverse, had in correlation to a real life experience to you.
Actually, a lot. I really liked this chapter. Number one was something that we all do, and I have a really bad habit of doing, is like going back and kicking myself in the ass about something in the past. It happens, and I have to tell myself, stop. You know, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter in my life anymore. That's in the past. So, and usually it's really stupid things, by the way. I mean, it always says it's never anything serious. It's like stupidest things.
Yes.
So that was one of the things that like really stuck out with me. So that I'm always working on. And of course, I think that, you know, there are some things I'm sure that still, you know, do affect me in life that, you know, I'm trying to bring to my conscious so I can, you know, just get rid of those things that hang, you know, deep down inside. But, you know, the 333 story really, I really liked that as well, about what can you do. I don't want to know what you know, what's going to stop you from doing it, but what can I do to move forward? And then there was another one, and so this is what really, and you kind of just touched upon it, was about the trip, that the girl that wanted to go on the trip so bad, and, you know, she just wanted to go, and he was just like, just book it and just let it'll figure its way out. You know what I mean? You have to take that step forward to, you know, to reach that goal, because if you're going to sit here and just keep talking about it, you're never going to reach that goal. So, sorry.
Okay.
So those are kind of the biggest things that, you know, stuck out with me. Pretty much the whole chapter. I really enjoyed this one. Did a lot of self-reflection and stuff like that. So.
Yes, I want to add that in many cases, you know, and we've all had these emotional traumas or whatnot that prevent us from going forward. And sometimes we may not know exactly what that is. You know, it does take self-reflection to find that out. But we sometimes, even when we do know, we're stuck upon, why did that happen? Why did this person choose to do this to me? Or whatever that case may be. And that's not important. And it doesn't matter why a result that we didn't like or favor happened. It's just that it is. And that we have to recognize that event is still holding us captive from moving forward. And
Sorry.
And what's your name?
No, he's leaving.
He made a cameo and ran out. Hi, buddy.
Hi, my name is Liam.
Oh, hi, William. I'm David.
No, Liam.
Oh, Liam. Even better. I love it.
It's Liam.
Very nice.
Bye.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I love that name, by the way. But again, it's not important. A lot of times we do dwell upon the why something happen and it's preventing us from moving forward or progress, and it's not important but why. It's that, okay, this is why I act in such a certain way. It's because of that. Now you go,